broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
But then we go.
Hey there! Hey there, Resurrection fans! Welcome to another Resurrection After Show. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, or you can check us out other places like iTunes, SoundCloud. You can hit us with a rating and a review there as well. Don't forget to leave a comment. It makes all the difference to us here at AfterBuzz.
It makes us really
happy. And if you want to tweet along with us or ever at us, you can use the hashtag ABTVResurrection.
I would love that.
We would all love it. Guys, I'm your host for tonight, Zach Wilson. If you want to tweet at me during the show, you can tweet at me at @ZachWilson.
I'm tweeting at you right now.
And I've got my fantastic co-hosts here, G. Madison. G, if you want people to, want to tweet at you.
Well, if you want to tweet at me, you can type in @GMadison4th. That's G Madison, the word the, and the number 4, TH. It's kind of complicated, but not so much. How about you, sweetie?
I'm so less complicated. Are you guys ready? I guess it does depend who you ask. My Twitter is @CBriche, CBRICHE.
Because, of course, this is Chelsea Briche.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are talking Resurrection, episode 213.
Season finale.
Loved in Return.
Wow.
Get it? Because they're returned. And it's loved in return.
I think it's all
and a lot
Marty.
of episodes about the love of a child.
Oh, okay.
Or the hatred of a child.
Or the hatred.
Depending on what side
It's
of this
fear.
war
It's all
you're
fear.
on.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Just afraid of the unknown.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Like, it's the fear of the unknown and the fear of when the unknown could mean the end of the world.
The unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard
Who
to tell.
knows?
I think that, well, the big theme in this episode is you're right. It is the unknown. Is what is Rachel's baby going to do to the world? We know what the government, the math says. The math says millions are going to return.
Right.
As we found out, it was right.
The prediction was right. Yeah.
Millions of people showed up the instant that Rachel gave
The
birth.
science actually worked in some ways.
I kind of wish it didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, because...
Because she's complicated.
Yeah,
See?
because I'm complicated.
Exactly what we said. Yeah.
Because I think it just makes it, not that the whole show isn't unrealistic, but that just puts like such a whole nother spin on it.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
The fact that science actually worked and it wasn't just all spiritual stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that, and I don't know. So now if we do get a season 3.
yeah,
like
which is undecided, by the way.
TBD. I liked how we were just focusing on our little group of people, and change, sometimes I'm not very good with it. So now,
change.
now we're gonna have to focus on these millions of people coming
It's
back.
okay.
That's a lot for me to handle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an.
What am I gonna do?
Oh no.
I don't know. What
Watch
is
the next season.
what is the world going to do?
Yo, I think everyone's gonna freak out. Well, obviously, I mean, I'm glad they jumped a year later because it was pretty predictable that the world was gonna do what this small city did as well, which was go crazy and throw people in jail and try to capture them or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think it's really cool to see that an organization was created called the Bureau of the Returns.
So creative.
With the little tree on it and stuff. I thought that was really nice. But I think that it's nice that they went a year forward. We were kind of excited for that.
I like that jump.
Did you like that?
I liked that part of this whole end of the ending.
Just that part?
I have mixed feelings about the ending here. I think that
I do
there's
too.
a sort of a I don't know where it leaves us. Cause, partially, I think that is maybe because the writers didn't know, and they were sort of sensing from the network side, this could be your series finale. It could be just season 2's finale. Obviously, they're still making that call. It could go, honestly, it could go either way at this point. Unfortunately, not looking good.
Well, I mean, so what do you do when you know that it's going to be your last season? Do you just throw all the bells and whistles out for the finale?
You know, you
I
sort
mean,
of
I think
have
you
to.
probably should, no?
You sort of have to play it But you don't want to, because if you throw everything in there, then the network's like, oh, well, you wrapped up, great.
Right.
So we don't
On to
need
the
to give you
next.
another season.
Yeah.
But if you give people something great, something like, you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? Because the network executives, they watch TV just like the rest of us. Now they have to put a lot of other thoughts into it. But if you give them some awesome little hook at the end there, they're like, oh, I want to know where it goes.
Well, we didn't
see
get the
what
awesome
happens
little
next.
hook at the end.
And
I mean, it's kind
I
of like
didn't
the
get the awesome little
cicadas.
hook.
Right, I agree with you. I think the only thing was like, obviously, that there's something, I don't want to say bad or wrong, but something is
Special.
Special. There we go. We'll use that word. Different about this baby, because the cicadas are, really attracted to it, which I don't think we've really seen that aspect before.
yeah,
right?
before we dig into,
gotta go.
I guess we'll go back. We'll start at the end and we'll
got
go
it,
backwards.
okay.
No. I
Right.
want to talk about
We
this.
always do
but
this.
just want
We
to
jump
assure you
to
guys that we are going to go back. We're talking about the whole assault on them. But
Right.
let's talk about this. Let's talk about where we are right now.
Okay.
Because honestly, that's where my head's at after that ending.
Yeah.
So we jumped a year forward, and you're right. I don't know whether the cicadas mean that the baby's good or not. But let's talk specifically about the idea of the baby as what brings everyone, all the millions of returned into the world. That's supposedly like a moment, like we were talking about last week from Andrea, the government. Once every so often there is some event at which a massive swell of them come back.
Okay.
So we talked a little bit last week how it might be the birth of a baby who was returned.
Right.
But this is like millions is like other levels. So it must not have been that the previous time.
Big.
Or maybe it was. It's just it was just getting bigger and bigger. Maybe every time it is the birth of a child, and maybe it started as 10 people, 100 people, a city, a town.
Maybe it's just like swelled. It's like
graduated.
last time it was 1,000, and then this time it's 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That it's just like the opening of the floodgates. But I guess at first my thought was, oh, okay, so the baby is just like the trigger, and once it's triggered, nothing you can do. Like maybe
Right.
we're going to see some people trying to like, oh, if we kill the baby, they'll all go away or something like
Right.
that. But I mean, and that still might happen. But with that moment at the end with the cicadas, that says to me that there's more to this baby. Like there's more to come. So like, I mean, could the preacher be right?
No.
He's a little over the top.
He's so
like
over the
Batman
top.
now. The way he's talking to everybody, walking around all
Like,
you're a preacher.
It just like, he does it so nonchalantly, and then like throws these insane commands and all this stuff, and then just like.
He's smooth. He's definitely
he's so smooth.
talking my panties off any day. It kind of slid down a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, that's one of the things that I choose to do doing this show is make
what?
you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think
so
we've succeeded.
They keep me here, behind the difficult, complicated woman that can't get over to you and make you even more uncomfortable. But no, he's really smooth, and he can kind of get his way, and he almost did. And I don't know. I think it was. I think the baby is normal, and
You think it's completely normal?
no, not completely normal, but I do think that it's not so drastically what the preacher is saying.
It's not like there's a different, like it doesn't have to be the devil
Right.
incarnate. It doesn't have to be the
But that's what they're
Antichrist.
making it out to be.
But
the end of the world. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he's calling it.
But this is a fair question or an argument, I guess, to be had, and it's sort of let's use it and take it. We'll take it back to where we start out this episode, where we have this mob made up of not just Preacher James and his like little cult of the returned. Like we have Tom's Church of the Returned. Preacher James has a cult of the returned
Right.
because they're brainwashed. And he teams up with the True Living
Yeah,
of
saw that.
Arcadia.
You called that last episode too.
And it's scary when like two groups that are very capable of hurting people get together. But those two working together, and they want to kill the baby because they think it might cause the end of the world.
Right.
At what point is that like how much of like how much of wrongdoing does a baby have to do or like might do before you like you're like because the argument is this might be the worst thing ever to happen on the world. So we should kill this baby who hasn't done anything to anyone, but just by its existence might destroy the world.
It sounds like present day a little bit. The way that people are at war with people in the name of religion, in the name of peace. Like, I'm going to kill you so we can have peace.
Have peace.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, all of the war and the fighting and everything for the sake of God told me so. That's kind of... It was a little reminiscent of today, you know? So it's a little sad to watch and see how it can just kind of duplicate itself, and keep, you know, kind of returning back to the same place of just, when are we ever going to get it? When are we just going to just love? You know, which was great that she sang that song at the end. I don't want to jump too far, but just the song she was singing and just what she wanted for her baby. She just wanted to be around love, and is kind of manipulative for the preacher of all people, who you would think would come with love, to be deceptive. You know, at the end result. You know, so.
But did you guys pick up when I don't mean to bounce around, but we're on the topic kind of religion. When Henry was talking to the preacher, and he said, I don't know what your God, you know, sent you to do. He said, your God. You know, he wasn't saying, like, what God or what our God. He made it a very distinct point to say, your God. Right. And I think that was a huge, like, what you were saying, to show the distinction that, like, we're not all on the same page there. You know, it was like this group, that group, my God, your beliefs, this and that. So I thought that was a really
just say God,
key,
but
well, it's that sort of play between two takes on, especially Judeo-Christian religion. There's the vengeful God that's very much in the Bible, of like spiteful and like throw stone the sinner and like all that stuff, versus the loving, forgiving God that people want to believe in, that want to think that like any being, whatever it is, whatever you believe in, whatever force oversees the world, is going to want something good, is going to be fighting for good. Or does that fight take the form of violence and just murder to like cleanse the world, like Noah and all of that?
Destruction to actually cleanse it. And it brings me back to what I was saying when we were watching the episode was, what if this baby's only job was to create this turmoil? You know, what if this baby is not here to do anything except to
just purely
shake the boat, rock the boat a little bit, you know, and that people create a fight over something and show us that we still don't get it. We're all going to be different. We're all different, you know. And I don't know what I would do if people who I've known passed away came back. I don't know. However, this is a great little test, and we talked about this the first season. Is this all just a test?
That was the big question originally, was like, why are people coming back? Like, what do you do if somebody like that comes back? And there's not really a good answer. But now the question is, what would you, if this is gonna like change the world effectively by having all of these people come back from the dead, good, bad, whoever, one life is taken and it prevents all that.
But there was no guarantee, I don't think.
And
or if they did get rid of Rachel and her baby, don't you think? You know what I mean?
I'm
sure it could have happened with someone else.
It's a big guess. And he talked about Marty being the one who doubted, and it's like, well, you can flip it. You flip the coin either way. Someone's doubting something.
Well, but so let's play Monday morning quarterback for a second. Now we know that's what happened. That like her having the baby brought all these people back.
Right.
If you can go back, do you let Preacher James do his thing and disappear Rachel?
No.
I don't think so either.
I mean, do you think Rachel...
I think the doubt really comes from... I mean, we talk about doubt, and the doubt really comes from what the preacher is saying. Like, would God... This is such a religious conversation.
It's a religious show.
Yeah, but would God allow something to be created that didn't deserve to be created? You know what I'm saying? Like, why does he think that God would do something like create a baby for you to kill it?
Well, Preacher James' argument, and MKD233 says, I thought the baby was going to turn into Satan at the end. That's what Preacher James is talking about. What if God didn't make this baby? What if the devil did?
The devil is not a creator.
But what if the devil in some, or whatever you want to call it, evil, just what
if it came from
take
evil?
mythology out of it for a second. Whatever evil force is like fighting this good force, what if the evil force forms a way to take down the earth? And this baby is the start of it. This baby who never asked for it. Rachel never asked for it. Nobody did, but this is the devil's soldier.
I mean, I think this is one of those situations where you can go back and forth all day long and play the what if game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so I think
that's what makes a cool show.
yeah, it makes a great show. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you could go back and forth and there could be 100 different situations. But kind of like Lucille made a comment when she was in the kitchen and she said, I've gone through every situation in my head. None of them turn out well.
There you go.
So, like, thank you, Lucille.
Our
because
decision, the AfterBuzz TV decision is we don't know how to answer
We
that
don't
question.
know. We just
don't
know that it's not good in the end.
I just know it's not my baby, okay? So stop calling me, trying
the
to give me
baby
the
was cute.
yeah,
We
the
were
text.
wondering about that all
was.
2 seasons.
Is it
We're
my
like, I
baby?
think Rachel's baby might be G's.
It might be.
And then it was born. We looked at it. No, probably
walk out.
I
Tom's.
saw that curly hair. I said, "Oh, wait, hold on now." I see an afro already building. You saw how much hair was on that baby's head?
Oh my God.
Even you said he said the baby is not a newborn.
The baby was so cute.
That baby was 19 years old. Did you see that thing?
Get out of here.
I want to see the baby's face. Oh, we did see
We
the baby at
did.
the end. The very
Did you
end.
watch the show?
Yeah, I did. I did.
But so while they're like building all that stuff outside, while the mob is forming and yelling and
Yeah.
chanting,
Yeah.
we get all these some really great moments of like inside the house, like what they're trying to deal with. Margaret sneaking in. What did you guys have any particular highlights of that whole?
Yes,
What?
the kiss.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, why,
of
why is
course.
this the first thing that we talked about?
I mean, yeah.
Because I'm serious.
Finally.
I really
Can
like.
we just
did
say
you hear
it?
me? I was like, ah!
Yeah, yeah. I did
It's
that
like-
too. Yes, good.
Or not, or maybe I shouldn't applaud because finally, like,
Yeah.
Like,
this
finally,
took
but-
so long.
But here's what sucks though.
Yeah, here.
Marty still didn't go for it. It was her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Marty is a gentleman.
No.
Marty is a simp. He's scared. Marty,
But
you need to jump. And it was closed lip. I need to see
Yeah,
some more
there was like no like
passion.
Like I've been waiting so long for this. Like thank God it's finally here.
Before I die.
It was like great. We've been dating for 5 years already. I'm so freaking over you.
Like they just pressed their lips
Yeah.
together.
Like
What is that?
I will say I agree with that. Like that was not
what?
a super passionate kiss. That
No.
was like
that was
not
like an ABC
That was not a
family
kiss. Yeah, that was not a
Right?
kiss that you are
I've
longing
been waiting
for.
right.
Right.
that's a good. That kiss was first date kiss. Like we went out, we had a really good time.
Now,
I
like,
want
I
to kiss
think we
you.
have to
Good
kiss.
night.
Yeah.
Let's do this again.
Like you're
Huzzah.
definitely not coming inside. Like thanks
But
for dinner.
you're not coming inside. But maybe next time. That's
I don't
what
know.
that
It
kiss.
wasn't the next
No,
time either.
that was like a.
That was a I got you
I'm
on a
not
7
answering
date
your
rule.
text message.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I mean. It's like maybe next. We'll see how date 2 plays
Yeah,
out.
we have
That's
a
what
date
that
2.
kiss was. That kiss
It was-
was not. I need to kiss you because there's a chance that I die before
yeah.
the
Say
end
it.
of
Yeah,
See,
the
the
whole-
stakes
yeah.
weren't high enough. The stakes were not high enough for that kiss. It was either that first kiss or it was a 99-year-old kiss.
Yeah.
Like, you baby,
Yeah.
you know I love you. I can't see you very well, but I know you're there. I can feel the heat of your body. Just press your face against mine. Oh, there it was. I love you, baby. I love
that
you.
is
Now
what
go
it
on,
is. It's really
take your stroller all the way down there, Marty.
But to like, I think it was so true to Marty's personality. Like they have all these people
fair.
coming into the house, like endangering their lives, and all 3 of those men, none of them were men. Like they were such amateurs.
Oh, yeah. With the
I
gun.
mean,
Yeah, they were
right?
kind of weak.
Kind of like weak, and they're like,
I mean,
Even the sheriff.
don't come in
I'm
and
like,
shoot. Like, right? Like, dude, you're a sheriff.
Yeah.
Like, what do you?
that moment.
Doing?
I did have an issue with that sequence too. I think we
was
talked
just
about this
so-
while we were airing because we were
Yeah,
like
they're
yelling
like-
at the TV
They're like trying to get away. They're like barely. They're like, excuse me. Like,
they built in that the perfect like just like open fire for this to be a crazy
Right,
shooting
just
gallery
crazy.
because the preacher like Fred's like don't forget they can come like they can come back and preacher James is like don't forget they can't kill you
us. Yeah, the setup
and
was
we're
so
like okay
perfect.
this is great Fred's just gonna like let loose, send the bullets flying, and he takes like one shot, really smart shot because
Smart,
he's
he just
not aiming to
injured.
kill.
Exactly.
He shoots to maim, and so they're not coming back.
Right.
Or they're not going
leaving,
anywhere.
yeah.
Like
They
they're
just can't
just gonna
move.
fall down.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to come in.
I think he hit one person. Yeah.
One person.
Like a couple. Like they
He had
each took like
gun
a
here, and
shot
they
or
just
two.
attacked him. He's like, oh, it got
And
Yeah,
me.
that's what I'm saying. They're like old men. They're old men kissing and old men fighting. And I just really don't like. I don't
And
like
make it out. I don't know if I could have kissed her while people out there want to kill us.
Well, no, because it's,
Really?
it's like the state, like the threats, like, oh, what if I promise me you'll be safe?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, whatever.
There's a few things that this show kind of left hanging for so long from season to season.
Yeah.
And that kiss, their connection is one of them that we
Totally.
called. We called pretty early. I'm sure it was predicted. I'm sure it was already written.
They did get
But,
a nice like we're in a relationship kiss in during the
Later.
the 1 year later
Yeah.
sequence. So like
Yeah.
I'll give them that. They
Yeah.
built
Yeah.
to it.
But see, that kiss should have been like that. That kiss
Right.
walking in the door.
That was like, hey, I haven't seen you since
hey babe, how you
breakfast.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that first one was like,
They
wait,
need us on
do
their
you
writing
want it?
staff.
Let's just show them.
You know what? I gotta go.
They
Can you
just
handle
need
the show?
they need you guys as consultants to be
Yes.
like no. More passion.
This is how you do it.
Omar.
Omar,
Do it again.
Go for it.
kiss
Look
like
at her. She
Yeah.
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right. And Maggie's so hot.
She's so cute. She's looking cuter
Yeah.
and cuter.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You get a man, everybody wants you.
That's true, though. Why is that?
Yeah. Happens
You know?
for us too.
It's science.
No, it is. You guys, I mean, we always just go like relationship therapy and AFTERBUZZ Resurrection. But I swear that men have some sixth sense when a girl that they've been pursuing and stopped, when she has moved on, all of a sudden, why do you do that?
I don't do it.
Yeah, you do. Why do you do that?
Why don't
Steven, why do you do that? Or who's back there?
go for the
He's
girls that are
sweet.
taken?
What's the question?
Steve, wake up.
All right, we'll talk about Resurrection.
No, Chelsea, restate the question. And I also want to pose it to the chat roll. I want your opinions in the chat roll,
So,
guys.
are you listening to me back there?
Steve.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, what I'm saying is when a guy, what did I
Spit
say?
it out.
I can't. I forgot. When a guy stops pursuing a girl and like they kind of like break up in a sense, and she moves on, like completely forgets about him. You haven't talked to the girl. You haven't seen her. How do you sense that she's moved on and no longer wants to hang out with you, let alone date you, and then you just peer out of the dark hole that you've been sunken into?
Oh, you come back out. Oh, it's just
You come
timing.
back
It's just
out.
bad timing.
that's
that's
just
not
the
bad
nature.
timing.
That's the nature of
It's
the
the
universe.
nature.
It's sixth sense.
See, I think so too. I think it's the universe.
Or it's them just looking at your Facebook page or something.
I think Steven's on it.
You know what?
They're like, oh, look at this fool she's dating. I think I'm better than him. Let's see if I can find out.
It's like a competition.
Let me. No, it's just
Yes, it
reality.
is.
Let me remind her where it's at.
Look, dating,
Then why did you let her
life.
go in the first place?
She ran. I can't run
my
that fast.
Look, dating, life,
I'm
returning
Chase.
from the dead. It's all a competition, you
Yeah.
guys. It's
Yeah.
all a competition.
Yeah.
You guys.
I agree.
No.
Thank you for bringing that back. I agree.
Look, what's not a competition is
Tell me.
who's trying to disappear Rachel. I mean,
man,
like,
they all want
I want to talk about like
yeah.
Margaret and the preacher. Like, their idea, they're getting in there and they're trying to
Yeah.
get Rachel to let go, and they both attack from the same like mindset, the
God,
same
they just
goal.
had Tom
Or-
there,
yeah,
and was just dangling in front of her.
The
you know?
carrot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here's the question, though, because they say that that they're both dangling the Tom is waiting for you. Margaret is just making stuff up at this point.
Margaret's so
Well, no,
crazy.
because she doesn't know. But Preacher James,
Do you think he knows?
I mean, he had some
dropped that name,
He had some
Nathaniel.
info that nobody else. The only time that Tom and Rachel discussed the name of that baby was in the car, like the day before Tom died.
Oh.
And they 100% said that we're going to name our kid Nathaniel.
They agreed on it. They're like,
Okay.
yeah, Nathaniel, that's a good name. And
I
then
don't know why I
like,
don't remember
It was
that.
enough that no one else heard it. And we know that.
Yeah.
yeah, nobody else heard that, but somehow Preacher James knew. He said that he saw Tom on the other side.
With his own eyes, yeah.
With his own eyes, which is like, is it your eyes? Because you're in an ethereal plane. Preacher James.
Settle down, there's that. Settle down. Zach Wilson is going ham over here.
But could he have talked to Tom on his like way back?
Yes.
I don't.
If people can come back from the dead, you can talk to them. That's an easy one.
But I would guess that more than likely, he talked to Tom and it was like, I can bring a message to Rachel. Tell me what you want to say.
Tell me what you want to hear.
Tell
girl.
Rachel. Tell my son Nathaniel. Give him this message.
Think-
And then he's like, I'll pass the message along. The message that you're waiting for them to die.
Right.
Do you think though that he was making this stuff up about Tom, or do you think it was real?
I think some of it is real.
I mean, I think he had to have one way or another communicated with Tom. The question is, I don't think that Tom would be like, no, you should tell Rachel to like let go and come like not give birth to our child and come join. No, Tom's not. Tom's like, no, the return to people like. You give birth to my baby.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna go for a second.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think she was close. But I know he was a con artist, okay?
Totally.
But I don't think he's lied yet. I don't think he's actually lied. I think he's using the information he has to work. So, I mean, that's a woman would definitely argue, no, he's lying because he didn't give us all the information. I think he has information he's not sharing. I think that he's manipulating it to get his way, but I don't think that he's creating stuff that doesn't exist.
Lying by omission, I would say, is still lying.
Yeah, okay. So he's lying, but I don't think that he's creating false information.
I mean, it's interesting.
I think he's been walking the thin line this whole time, and I think he really believes that that baby possesses something, and he's afraid of it. I think he believes that God told him to do these things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no,
I think he believes all these things. We don't agree with him, and we don't like his way, his come from, but I do think that he's carrying truth, his truth at least.
I don't think there's any doubt, there's at least in my mind, that he firmly believes all of what he's saying. I think he may have lied here or there, but his beliefs, he believes,
are steadfast.
Yeah, because
sure.
he's super strong then. Like, that's why he nixed Marty. You know what I mean? Like, he would have done that by himself if there was no one behind him, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's totally set in his ways and, believes what he believes.
Yeah.
So.
But he's just not, like, he doesn't mean he's right.
Right. Correct.
And it's tough because he has evidence to back up his points. Like, he said, if this baby is brought into the world, millions of people will return and the world will fall into chaos. The first 2/3 of that have happened.
Yeah.
The baby was given birth and people did return. And now he points out in that like conversation he has with Marty, he's saying stuff like, there's riots in Philadelphia and
but how did
burnings
he know
in
that?
Japan. I mean, it's the news. I assume jail, he'll have the news.
He's not closed off.
But also, I have a question.
Yeah.
Marty made a comment when he was like, how is it something about suicide? So does that mean he was trying to commit suicide? Did you guys hear that?
I assume so. He probably was put on permanent suicide watch because of what he did in the government facility. Because he killed himself and all those people as a way of breaking out.
Okay.
And they know that he's capable of it, so it's like, don't let him break out of there.
Yeah.
By killing. That's
Someone's
like a new.
tweeting me.
It's a new jail. It's like a new problem with jail. You can't let them kill themselves, or they'll break out of prison.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But now it'll be interesting to see if the show does get to come back, and we fingers crossed that it does. How the world is really reacting. Like we know that there's from Marty says in that conversation, the dinner conversation, that there are people who are super angry, that are violent about it.
Same thing that happened before.
Course, yeah.
It's exactly
on a bigger scale.
Exactly. It's Arcadia on a bigger scale.
Right.
So that's like, it's good that we kind of just get to skip over that.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that too, because it would be a precursor of the same thing. Mm-hmm.
I mean, going forward, it would be interesting to see like what they do with it if they have that opportunity. Like what is the next evolution of this show?
You're right.
Right, that's what I'm saying. What happened?
That's why the cicadas coming to the window is like, that's all you gonna give us? Is some cicadas hitting the window, attracted to this baby? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
We've
agree
seen a lot
with
of
you.
scary movies, so I guess we're all like, and then the toys start to fly in the room.
I know you guys are like, this
Yeah.
baby's gonna move the things in the
Yeah,
room.
well,
I was gonna look at the camera or something, and like,
I thought it was gonna like see the little
Paranormal
spinning
activity.
thing above its head. Like we saw that it had one of the like little dangly whatever you call them, the little wheels. I thought it was gonna like reach its hand up and spin it like psychic telekinetic ability.
No.
just do this, but not touch it, but just do it with his hand.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
moved. It's like the end of what was it? X-Men 3, where Magneto is just like moves a metal chess piece like an inch with his finger,
Shows
and then
he still has his
blackout.
power, yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see that movie.
Yeah, you missed it. That was a good scene. Yeah.
But anyway, but I want to talk a little bit
It's
about
a good
about
episode, though,
yeah,
right?
It's a great
I want to
episode.
talk a little bit about the government's like response to all of this. Now that it,
There
like,
was no response.
Yeah,
They're
there's no
gone.
response. What do you
well, no,
mean?
but there's two. Well, that's a response though.
Talking
is that
before the,
both because in the present storyline, in the main story time, the government facility is just fully abandoned. All the bodies are gone. All the people are gone. They've wiped the math off the board and disappeared. What did you guys think? Where do you guys think they went, or why do you think they left?
Oh, me.
Me,
Oh,
pick me.
me.
Pick me.
Zach, me.
No favorites.
Oh, me. That means me.
That means
No, at first I was confused. I didn't, like, I was confused if they had left by themselves or
What do you
if,
think, though? What do you feel?
Well, why would they leave by themselves and where are they going? They're just going to throw their hands up in the air and be like, oh, we're done with
So
this
what do you
case.
think?
The
What do you
world-
feel?
I'm
It's
not
complicated.
Naturally, I'm not sure what I think.
Oh, Lord.
But I know, here we go again.
Never
That
gonna
just
date.
whole scene, I thought it was going to show something like the preacher had them out or was like had them tied up and had all the stuff. I don't know. I just didn't interpret it as like, oh, they packed up their stuff because they kind of knew that Rachel was going to have this kid. I don't know why that whole scene just confused me. No?
No, it's just you. Well, here's what I think and feel.
Okay, go.
Women so can't do it. So, no, I think and feel
Tell me your
my
feelings.
resurrectioners that they bailed. They're out of there. Like they don't
That's what
want
I'm
to be.
saying. So all of a sudden they're like, oh, we just did this math and we spent all these months, whatever it may be, and now we're just done. We're
Yeah.
gonna pack up our
We're
stuff and go
outnumbered.
back to
We have to go.
real life.
Yeah, I think it is sort of like that. I think basically they get she has the math.
Yeah.
And
And they're just terrified.
and well, they're terrified and they realize
That's
like,
smart.
oh, like they're coming. Millions are
Yeah.
coming. It's like the moment where it's like if you're like on the battlefield and
Yeah.
you've got like your 20 guys and you're like, yeah, we're ready for this gang war, we're ready for this fight, and then all of a sudden million soldiers show up on the horizon. You're like, bail, guys, bail. Well, they're like, we got to regroup and
Yeah.
we got to
All right.
get out of here, figure out what to do next. Like whatever we're doing here
It's not
working.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Done.
everyone's dead in here. For one, they've
Like-
killed themselves.
Yeah.
So we've got these bodies that obviously must have disappeared, right?
Yeah, scorch,
Right.
like burn it all down and get out.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
You okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. Don't let it
One
happen
of
again.
our listeners, MKD233, again says, what did you guys think of Jenny telling Marty that she's his big sister?
Super cute.
She thought it was adorable.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah,
was.
it
It
was-
was.
Yeah, it was
All of us,
adorable.
I think, were like,
Oh,
it's
I think you said
true.
out loud. You're like, but I'm the big
I'm a sentimental.
sister.
I'm a crybaby.
Yeah.
So I mean, I looked at her. I could see the big sister in her though too. And then, I mean, obviously he's an adult, so it's it doesn't really fit. However, it's still cute that she was strong enough, to say, no, you be careful, you be safe.
Yeah, she's like this little peanut saying this to this grown man.
Yeah,
I thought that was
you
really
be careful.
cute.
They're
Now, can
very
you
much
pick me up and put me
kids.
on my-
That's why nobody
What are we
draws
having
them.
for dinner?
That's why nobody, like, when Jacob and Jenny leave. With Lucille, that's why nobody hurts them, because they're kids. They are the innocents, and meanwhile they're trying to kill a baby that's upstairs.
Well, they did try to attack, and that's when Grandma stepped up, Grandma Langston, and said, "That's So I mean, and you heard the murmurs going on.
Yeah, that's totally how it was.
You heard the murmurs saying, "What is she doing? Don't let her leave. Like, get those kids. They stop them." You know, I could hear it building up.
They're kids, man.
Well,
Yeah, but they're about to kill an unknown or an unborn child.
Look, these are the crazed mob is not usually the smartest of the people.
Yeah, that's true. Did you guys catch? I thought there was like some great eye movements, like when Lucille looked Margaret up and down as she was walking them out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And her head was just so high.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that was literally like
I mean, like
crane.
she had, totally.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, watch me. I'm gonna strut through here. Do not touch my kids.
Step off.
And like,
biatch.
you know, she stuck her middle finger in front of all of them. You know, just with that look and.
Oh yeah.
She was pretty bold to take them out there.
Super bold.
She's really brave.
I think she knew that as much as these people are trying to do something terrible,
They wouldn't.
They, in their own way, think they're doing the right thing. And they know that killing 2 kids is not the right thing. Regardless, like, half of them are returned, half of them are the crazy true living, but like regardless, they're not going to kill a child.
Right. And there's another little side eye moment where Henry was walking, and he gave his mom that eye. Listen.
When he was closing the door.
Ooh,
Yeah.
He looked her up and down like she was short, you know. Kinda like,
Yeah.
I
He
was
just
like,
had no
wow.
time for her.
He was not happy. He still a year later.
Yeah,
It's obvious
apparently.
that he still is not talking to his mother, but obviously Fred
Sounds
might
like
be.
Fred is.
Yeah, I think Fred is.
She didn't
'Cause
say.
he
He didn't
said-
say she misses us.
Right.
She misses
Her
you,
son.
Her son. Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget that, like, the last time that they had a full conversation, she said, "I hate you."
Right.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It kind of changes.
like, she said, "I hate you," and then she incited a mob to storm his house and try to kill a baby that he was trying to save.
However, she did have a change of heart, and she did free Marty.
did.
But you could totally tell.
She was
like,
tormented.
Yeah, so tormented, and they had a shot of her like when the guys were running
Against the
around
wall,
being banshees. Yeah, and she kind of closed her eyes, and you can tell in that moment she was kind of
This
like,
is not what I
"This
had in
is
mind.
not what I wanted to happen." Yeah.
Well, because her whole inspiration, like, the whole reason she's helping them
To protect
is
Jacob.
to protect Jacob. I'm curious what you guys think about Jacob's headaches, the pain that he feels. He says, "I hurt when the baby hurts." I originally thought he was getting pain because he could sense the
evil.
well, not the evil, but the new wave of return on the horizon. Because we know Jacob's a little more attuned than most of the other people to other return being there. So, like, millions of return are coming. Then you're like, yeah, Jacob's gonna have a bit of a headache.
Yeah.
Them all coming back.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was. But he says that he hurts when the baby hurts. So. Does that mean that he's bonded to the baby, or what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, in some way, I think he has to be.
But what does that mean? Like, what is that? What, like, well, how does that?
He'll be the
What does that
baby's
mean
minion.
from here on out?
The baby will grow faster than anyone else, and then I think in a year late next season it'll be like 2 years later, and the baby will be driving, and Joshua's still the same height and everything. No, I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm throwing everything out because you never know.
You never know.
Resurrection just kind of, they throw us in loops and loops and loops and loops, and it doesn't make sense because none of this makes sense. So I don't really know. I do think that he knows what he's feeling, and you know, I would say that he's probably wrong. However, he's the one feeling it, and the baby is going through. She is going through. What is it? Contractions. You know. So I thought that it would be more connected to her contractions, that we'd see him feel it as well, or something like. And I was hoping that while she was giving birth, we'd see Jacob's face, you know, feeling it as well, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see that juxtaposed more often than just the baby about to be born and him having a nosebleed. I felt bad for him, but
Right, and then is there a connection forever and always, or is it just, you know what I mean?
That's a good question. I think it's one we should get into in predictions.
bang.
And now,
I have seizures.
your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right, guys. This is our last round of predictions
Oh my goodness.
for
she's
season
crying?
2
Oh,
of
she's
Resurrection.
crying.
Potentially, we hope not. Fingers crossed.
Toes
that it's not
crossed.
the
Arms
last one of
crossed.
Resurrection
Eyes
ever.
crossed.
Legs crossed.
I'm gonna predict that Resurrection gets a 3rd season.
I
Okay.
predict that too.
I predict that too.
Okay.
You guys want that? Like, I'd love to hear what you guys are gonna say.
Before we get into our actual predictions, I want to say to you guys that to remember that ABC and all the networks absolutely listen to their fans. If you want to see Resurrection return,
You tell 'em.
like I don't know if this is actually a hashtag out there, but I say we start a hashtag. Please return
The
Resurrection.
return. Oh yeah, yeah, that's good.
Or Resurrection Return. No, please return
That's
Resurrection.
so long.
That's good. I
Or
like
just
it.
let's just do Return Resurrection.
Yeah.
There you go. Come on,
Hashtag,
guys.
so that's it, guys. If you want to, I say send it to send it to ABC's Twitter accounts. Mail. I don't know where to mail it to ABC or whoever at Disney.
Don't mail
And they're
it.
not going to
but-
open their mail anyways.
But however, tweet at them, post about it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Make your voice heard. Hashtag Return Resurrection.
Return Resurrection. I think
just
you've
started
started a
a
movement.
Maybe
We're
I
so
have.
connected.
Yeah.
We are. I'm gonna get a nosebleed in any moment now. Okay, so a prediction. Can I give one?
No.
Yeah, please.
Well, I think the president obviously is signing off on these returned, which is beautiful. However, I think that they will have another and a whole bunch more of those trances. The trance that they were in before.
Oh,
You guys
they were
remember?
staring at a window.
I think they're going to be controlled again. And I think the baby is actually going to be evil.
Do you?
I don't think he'll have a tail,
Interesting.
but I think that he will kind of harness some ulterior motives.
I got to throw it to somebody in our
Yeah,
chat roll
let's
because
do it.
this is a great. I didn't know this. Bucladized, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. Says not to get biblical, but John came before Jesus to prepare the way. Maybe Jacob was the John to Nathaniel. That makes sense. That fits. Although it does play into sort of the Antichrist
It sure does.
thing, and this is a very Christianity-heavy show. It fits.
Yeah, I'd
And
like to know. Maybe you can just ask now, like what was Nathaniel's? Sounds like a biblical name too. I can't remember. I can remember some stories in the Bible, but I wonder what Nathaniel's story was in the Bible. It'd be interesting to know.
That's a
Is
good
there
question.
a
I don't
biblical
know.
Nathaniel? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not the person to ask about the Bible.
There's a Chelsea in there. They have a Zach.
Yeah.
I know there's a Zachariah in there somewhere.
Zacharia.
There's a prophet.
Chelsea.
But anyway, so like
The G Madison.
Chelsea, do you have any big predictions, big swings, crazy thoughts?
I really don't have any crazy thoughts. I think, unfortunately, the child is not going to be a little angel, even though it's precious. But I do think that the baby and Jacob, their connection is going to be really strong, and there's going to be some sort of string between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my swing, I think that the baby is not going to be evil.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the baby's not going to be evil, but something
The messenger.
from outside of the baby's control, whatever force is bringing people back,
Be the messenger or the
is
vehicle.
going to be
Yeah.
able to take over the baby. And I think he's going to grow up super fast so that we can use him as an actual character.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
so,
he will
Benjamin
get
Button.
taken over by whatever force that is, and it'll be about rescuing Nathaniel from whatever evil.
So this is not a happily ever after kind of show.
I don't think so.
Doesn't seem like
gonna get
it.
worse and
well,
worse and
maybe
worse.
at the very, very end.
Yeah, when we annihilated them all, but
But yeah, those cicadas at the end just says to me,
Not good
like,
news.
not good.
Yeah.
Good is not coming.
yeah.
It's not a
Bad
race,
It
is
says to me,
sometimes.
get the raid. That's all it says. But also, I do think that Marty is going to slip some tongue next kiss.
He better be slipping.
Uh-oh.
What?
And next time on Resurrection here at AfterBuzz.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna do it.
I miss you guys. I'm gonna miss you guys.
What am I gonna do?
Any farewells to our fans, guys?
Much love, guys.
Well, I want to say
with a very presidential wave.
Yeah, I want to say this has been so much fun. Not only with you beautiful people, but also with everyone who's been not only chiming in during our live chats, but sending us tweets, sending us messages, stalking us. I really appreciate all the stalkers that are currently in my bush outside my house now.
Stalking us.
But I love my job, and I love the people I do it with. So I appreciate you all. Thank you, guys.
Amen.
See you next season.
And G, if people want to keep up with you after the season, where can they find you?
Well, why don't you just go to gmadisonlive.com. I was going to give you all my Twitters and Instagrams, but everything is there. gmadisonlive.com.
Chelsea Briche.
Well, you guys, I have really exciting news.
You're pregnant.
No, oh my God. Compared to that, it's not that exciting. But I have a blog and all
cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's themillennialmiss.com.
Millennial Mist.
The Millennial Miss.
Deep.
Check it out, you guys. And all my social and everything is connected there.
Okay.
All right, and you guys can follow me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, ThatZachWilson. And there's a bunch of shows here that you can follow me up. You can keep up with me on AfterBuzz. Let's see, we got Agent Carter, Helix, Better Call Saul, Archer. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming back in a few weeks. Guys, for one last time, I'm Zach Wilson, and thanks for geeking out with us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.